What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more George Michael. And we're returning to Listen Without Prejudice, 1990, and we're up to the penultimate tune on the album, which is Soul Free. So on the surface of it, the phrase sounds familiar. I don't recall any melody or vocals, but it's possible I've heard this tune because it really does sound like a familiar phrase. I suppose it's a phrase which could be used in different contexts or may exist outside of this song, but the idea, at least as it comes across to me on the page, is a soul that is unbounded, not restricted, not prevented from living or traveling to where it wants, and ultimately one that feels perhaps autobiographical for George. So yes, I'm aware that his songs seem to tap into a heavier type of emotion than a lot of Wham tunes. Not that Wham tunes that I've gone through don't have a degree of, very powerful emotion despite having a glitzy and sort of poppy sonic atmosphere. But yes, George's solo material definitely seems to go a bit heavier and deeper with the emotions and the conceptual expression of feelings. So yes, I wouldn't be surprised if this is autobiographical. I wouldn't be surprised, even though I can't think of anything in advance, that maybe I've heard this. I guess we'll find out. Let's give it a listen. This is George Michael. The track is Soul Free, and it's the penultimate tune on his 1990 album Listen Without Prejudice, Volume 1. Sounds like it's ripped from a book. very different percussive rhythms and flourishes. First of all, I never heard that before, and second of all, sonically and seemingly lyrically, it was different than I was expecting. I was expecting maybe a more, what's the right word? I said heavy beforehand, but a more emotionally, like, pleaful, I don't know if pleaful is actually a word, but yes, I expected it to be a bit less energetic and groovy and danceable than it turned out to be. I expected it to be more of like a heavy ballad type of song, so that was completely wrong. Again, lots of percussive flourishes and rhythms and interchanging bits and bobs along the way. Also, what sounds like a flute and some brass near the end. The flute, maybe I'm more inclined to think it's a true flute. Even that could maybe be keyboard. The brass definitely sounded like keyboard brass. Now, maybe I'm wrong with that too. Maybe it was actual brass instruments, but that in particular sounded like a brass kit on a keyboard. But the whole thing had a bit of a tribal islander sort of feel to the sonics, which again was very far away from what I thought might happen. And lyrically, it sounded less about not being bounded by, society's expectations or prejudices, and more about this relationship which is complicated. He sounds like, they have quarrels maybe, but they're making up almost every day, so there's this sort of back and forth and ups and downs, but he's also saying he wouldn't have it any other way, like he wouldn't change a thing. So maybe this dynamic where they have issues, but the other person touches him and he can't resist the temptation, and then they make a connection and it sets his soul free. Maybe the whole dynamic is what actually is the cathartic thrill for him. The idea that it's not simple, it's not straight away, and it's not always good and harmonious, but because of that complication, because of those battles and daily cycles, when they do meet, it's so great and wonderful. So I don't know if I'm reading that right, but it certainly seemed like if you're saying that you wake up and make up, unless you're talking about like actually making up your appearance, whether literally with makeup or just, putting on a persona or a face or an emotional mindset, it feels like they are sort of, again, going back and forth. They're good, they're not good, they're hot, they're cold, they're up, they're down. And then if I'm reading the line about not wanting to change a thing, then for him it's all part and parcel of what makes this so valuable and what makes it so tempting when, again, there is some sort of intimacy or physical contact. So yeah, like I said, very different than what I thought it might be going into it. Definitely didn't hear it before, even though I considered that it was a possibility, because for some reason the title phrase sounded so familiar. But yeah, a cool tune, a fun tune. It feels definitely lighter sonically and thematically than multiple tracks on the album so far. So, like Mother's Pride or something, that feels a million miles away from this. So it's cool to go through an album that has a very, devoted theme, but I also very much enjoy albums that give you a bit of a buffet, a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of energy, a bit of heavier, sonics, a very serious type of tune, a lighter tune. So I enjoy the variety as we get close to the end. In fact, I think the only thing left is Waiting Reprise. If I'm recalling that correctly, I suppose I do have the folder out. Let me give it a check. Yes, Waiting Reprise. So that's the only thing remaining, and we shall be done with this album. Yeah, once again, shout out to all the folks who've been following the George Michael reactions. I do not believe this is our last step along the way, so I'm looking forward to what comes next. Let me know what you think of this, and I will see you then. Peace.